the dark past has told us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the let us march on to victory. Is one. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far, all the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever into the path we pray. Let us feet stroll from the places, O God, where we met thee. Let our hearts, drunk with the world of the wine, we forget thee, shadow of thy hand, we may forever stand, true to our God, true to our God, true to our God, our
Well, good evening. Southland College Prep Charter High School, our guest in the house at Ridge 227. Ridge South is what I know it as, but I heard it's the Fine Arts Campus and the Communications Campus. Principal Larry Varn over here. This is a wonderful evening, even though I can't see a thing. So I don't know, Mike, any lights flashing, anything like that, but we welcome you here. We stand here on the shoulders of our ancestors. It is a great time to be black. Guess that's right, give it up. Tonight, on this last day of Black History Month, which we know it, the nation recognizes it as Black History Month. But you know what? We celebrate it all year round, 365 days. And tonight, the theme is honoring our past and inspiring our future. And this is what we plan to do tonight, because we stand on shoulders. We stand on large shoulders tonight. I want you all to forgive me for using my phone. I had notes. I usually have a podium, so you don't have to see all of this. But I need to do this. I've gotten where I can't remember everything at one time. But I'm going to tell you this. If there were no Harriet Tubman from the past, there would be no Frederick Douglass. If there were no Frederick Douglass, there would be no W.E.B. Du Bois. If there were no W.B.E. Du Bois, there would be no Maya Angelou. There would be no Oprah Winfrey if there was no Maya Angelou. There would be no Amanda Gorman. How many know Amanda Gorman? There would be no Tamron Hall, Steve Harvey, Arsenio Hall, Nick Cannon, or Jesse Louis Jackson. And if there was no Jesse Louis Jackson, there probably couldn't be a Barack Obama. So let's promise to always honor our past, but keep your hand on the plow and hold on as we steady our course to inspire our future. It happened back in the day. I know I was about 8 years old in the civil rights era, and I remember my mother, she was a very close companion to Cirillo McSween and Dr. Martin Luther King, Ralph Abernathy. It was a little circle. And I remember meeting them and really just being awed by the prominence I saw in each of these civil rights leaders in their own right. And I remember my mother giving me a book. It was called Where Do We Go From Here? It was written by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he signed it for me. That was the start of what I knew Black history meant to me, because Dr. Martin Luther King was somebody to be revered. He was somebody to be honored. That time that Dr. Martin Luther King stood for civil rights and for social justice was a dark time in our lives, because it was a non-violent protest. It was a non-violent rally. On the other side, you had Malcolm X saying, by any means necessary. And on this side, you had Dr. Martin Luther King saying, turn the other cheek. But it was a time that we all remembered, and it was a time that got us to where we are today, where now women can vote. Black people can vote. We can ride the buses. We can go into stores. We can do things that we couldn't do before. And so tonight, our wonderful students will take us and embark us on this journey, and we will see what the civil rights era meant to us in reflection. The students of Rich South School, the Fine Arts Campus and the Communications Campus, they're going to bring to you a scene tonight that will take us back to 1960. During that time, you will hear the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King. You will hear the voice of Coretta Scott King. And you will hear the voice of Mahalia Jackson. This is a time that we remember as we reflect on honoring our past, but inspiring our future by our students. Put your hands together for the students of Rich South.
1960 who, 1960 what, 1960 who, 19, hey, the Motor City is burning, y'all, and that ain't right. 1960 what, 1960 who, 1960 what, 1960 who, 19, hey, the Motor City is burning, y'all, and that ain't right. There was a man, voice for the people, standing on the balcony of the Ray Motel. Shots rang out. Yes, it was a gun. He was the only one to fall down, y'all. And that ain't right. Then his people scream, ain't no need for sunlight, ain't no need for moonlight, ain't no need for street lights, just burning real bright. Some folks say we gon' fight, 'cause this here thing just ain't right. 1960 what? 1960 who? 1960 what? 1960 who? 19. The Motor City is burning, y'all. And that ain't right, that ain't right. 19, 19, 19. The Motor City is burning. 1960 what? 1960. 19. The Motor City is burning.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee. Police have issued an all-points bulletin for a well-dressed young white man seen running from the scene. Officers also reportedly chased and fired on a radio-equipped car containing 2 white men. Dr. King was standing on the balcony of a second-floor hotel room tonight when, according to a companion, a shot was fired from across the street. In the friend's words, the bullet exploded in his face. Police, who have been keeping a close watch over the Nobel Peace Prize winner because of Memphis' turbulent racial situation, were on the scene almost immediately. They rushed the 39-year-old Negro leader to a hospital where he died of a bullet wound in the neck.
Martin and I met in Boston in 1952. He was pursuing his doctorate at the Boston College, and I was awarded a vocal scholarship to the New England Conservatory of Music. You know, his mother once told me that 2 weeks after meeting me, he wrote her and said,
"Mama, I've met my wife."
In June of 1953, I became Mrs. Coretta Scott King, the wife of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. It was a title I wore as a badge of honor until my death. God blessed us with 4 beautiful children, Yolanda, Martin III, and our baby Bernice. Now, when Martin left for Memphis, he wasn't feeling too well, a slight touch of the flu. I told him he should stay home and rest, but he said,
"No, Coretta, I've got to go. We've got to show them we can hold a peaceful mass march in support of our striking sanitation brothers."
Well, that was my husband, always putting everyone else's need for his. But when he got to Memphis, he would So sick, he had to ask his closest friend, Reverend Ralph Abernathy, to speak at the rally for him. But when he heard how many people showed up to hear him speak, he got up out of his sick bed and gave one of his best sermons. He said,
"We've got some difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind. Now, like anybody, I like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. Now, I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. Now, I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord."
it was the last time we ever heard his voice. The day I received the phone call, it was just a regular day. The kids were at school, and I was cleaning the kitchen. The phone rang. It was Atlanta's Mayor, Ivan Allen. He said,
Mrs. King,
"Yes."
get to Memphis. Dr. King has been shot.
By the time I got to the airport, there was hundreds of FBI agents and reporters surrounding my car path. Mayor Ivan Allen pulled me to the side and said,
Mrs. King, follow me. Coretta, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
"No,
But we lost Dr. King.
oh, no, no. I want to scream. Get away from me. Get away from me." But I knew the whole world was watching me. So I said, "Mayor Allen,
Yes, Mrs. King.
take me home. Get me to my children. I want them to hear from me. I want to be the one to tell them that their father is gone."
Yes, Mrs. King.
It was the saddest day of my life. I never knew why Martin was chosen to be the leader of the movement, but I always knew he was the right man to lead it. Martin would often speak of his memorial service. He would say,
"Coretta, do whatever you like in my service. But I want the people to hear the voice of my God. Promise me you'll have Mahalia Jackson sing in my service."
"Precious Lord, take my hand and lead me on. Let me stand. I am tired. I am weak. I am worn through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Oh, precious Lord, take my hand and lead me home.
You know, I'm going to tell you, Richton Park is a gold mine. I don't care what school you go to. It's a gold mine out here. These kids are talented, and you're going to see it on both sides here, right down the street. We're just neighbors, right down the street. And just with all this, give the band a hand. Are they not phenomenal tonight? I'll introduce them later. But I remember back in the day, when I was watching black and white films, how many people remember Lena Horne? I remember the Nicholas brothers and all of that. Remember the film Stormy Weather? I mean, when those Nicholas brothers went down those steps and did those splits all the way down, I can see why Michael Jackson always said after every performance he was in pain, because he was just as good as the Nicholas brothers. That's the past, the Nicholas brothers. The future was Michael Jackson. Give the king a pop a hand, Michael Jackson. So tonight, the Southland dancers have something for you called Soul Bossa Nostra. And they are bringing to you a performance in tap. They are phenomenal dancers. I mean, this is the type of thing that Southland and Rich South do to really create the ambiance of education in the fine arts. And they are doing a phenomenal job with this next piece. They premiered it this weekend. We had our Black History program on YouTube this past Saturday night, and it was a great show. They wanted to bring it here to this auditorium. How many people saw our show Saturday night? That's it. You know what? School is so much easier now that there's YouTube and Facebook and all of that. We didn't have all of that when I was in school. Matter of fact, we didn't even have cell phones, so I won't go back that far. And that was the past. But tonight, our dancers are going to bring to you this Soul Bossa Nova Nostra. Quincy Jones, Ludacris, and another artist are doing the music. You're going to enjoy the tap dancers. The Southland tap dancers, you all put your hands together for them.
Yes, sir. See, what we about to do right now is pay tribute to a living legend. So I brought Naturally 7 with me to do the beat. And I brought DTP's own Rudy Currents. And me, I go by the name of Ludacris, right? And there's a lot of people out there claiming that they bosses, but I'm here to let you know the true boss is back. Let's go!
It's the rebirth of you, Soul Bossa Nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect the roots, I hope you're taking notice, because he's the dude coming back with new hits. There's something wrong with the new freedom, focus to the truth, being real. So Bossa Nostra, it's the rebirth of you, Soul Bossa Nostra. He's back, the true soul boss is over. Better respect the roots, I hope you're taking notice, because he's the dude coming back with new hits. There's something wrong with the new freedom, focus to the truth, being real.
Yeah. Luda, he keep a flock of PYTs with him. And they all exotic, erotic, come in groups of threes with him. Living all over the world and I really get it hot when I'm overseas with him. And when we in Bel Air at the castle, I shoot the breeze with him. Publishing checks is coming even when he stay in bed. So we eating at the master table and we breaking bread. New artists steady bossing up, but I tell them why bother. They can't come close to Ludacris and his godfather. That's Quincy Jones, baby.
Rebirth of you, Soul Bossa Nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect your roots, I hope you're taking notice, because he's the dude coming back with more hits. It's something wrong with the new freedom, focus to the truth, being real. Soul Bossa Nostra. It's the rebirth of you, Soul Bossa Nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect your roots, I hope you're taking notice, because he's the dude coming back with new hits. It's something wrong with the new freedom, focus to the truth, being real. So Bossa Nostra. Keep it up with the Joneses, don't try to die. Just check the records, cause he's holding the number one spot. So let the grooves hit the mood, and don't try to stop it. His vocal play combined with the me mugging them, hugging this track like ooh. I'ma make it do what it do. Yeah. It's the rebirth of true soul, bossa nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect your roots. I hope you're taking notice because he's the dude coming back with no hits. There's something wrong with the new freedom. Focus to the true real. So bossa nostra. It's the rebirth of true soul, bossa nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect your roots. I hope you're taking notice because he's the dude coming back with no hits. There's something wrong with the new freedom. Focus to the true real. So bossa nostra. Keep it up with the Joneses and try to love. Just check the records 'cause he's holding the number one spot. So let the grooves hit the mood and his vocal play combined with the swing. It's the rebirth of true soul, bossa nostra. He's back. The true soul boss is over. Better respect your roots. I hope you're taking notice because he's the dude coming back with no hits. It's something wrong with the new freedom. Focus to the real. So bossa nostra.
Give it up for the band, you all. Maestro Fred Nelson at the piano. These are all members of our senior class. They'll be graduating in May. No, I'm just kidding. Maestro Fred Nelson here on the keyboards. I think you all might know a little history about Fred Nelson, but I mean, when he was a young guy, he actually appeared in concert with Ray Charles. And I think, Fred, you were, what, 4? He was 6 years old. 6 years old. His daddy played the organ. His sister plays the organ. He plays the organ, piano, and his mother runs everything. That's what mamas do, right? But Fred is also the former music director for Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, and now currently Jennifer Hudson. So he's doing a great job. All of these guys, though, I'm telling you, these are some professionals here. This ballhead one here is, he's from this area. He's from Gary, grew up at Gary at the, what's the road Baptist Church? Clark Road Baptist Church. How many know Clark Road Baptist Church? How many know Reverend Clay Evans? Okay. Well, Clark Road was Reverend Ferris Evans. That was his brother. And Monty grew up as a young guy there playing organ and piano. He is now the music director for a show that you all really need to go see. And we'll talk about that more later. It's called Blues in the Night. And he's the music director at the, what's the name of the theater?
Porchlight Theater.
Porchlight Theater. So if you want a good night out, go see Monty direct the chorus over there, featuring Felicia Fields. But you know, before I go on, I want to just give a shout out to those students that sang and performed in that first piece. Soloist Haley Young. We had Aubrey Butler doing Coretta Scott King. Anthony Cotton doing Dr. King. And then Simone Jackson doing Mahalia Jackson, and Skyline Grayer doing Aretha Franklin. That was a good piece, wasn't it? Now, I'm from the old school, so you know, I call things like, I'll go to the refrigerator, I might call it the ice box. You know, I may do things like that. So things change, and I want to honor those changes. How many people read the Bible? Okay. So you know, they say, it's written in the Bible, in Christ there is no east, west, south, or north, right? And now I want to make sure that we all know the difference tonight, that in Richton Park and in District 227, there is no east, west, north, or south. It's just District 227 and one big family. I love that. I grew up with a lot of guys that went to the old names of high schools and things like that. But now it's one big family, and you all are doing some amazing work. Let's turn up the house lights for a minute. I just want you all to see the superintendent. Let me say that while I'm doing it, the superintendents. Where's Dr. Johnny Thomas? Where's my superintendent for 227? You in? Where we at, Johnny? There we go. We need a spotlight, Mike. We got a spotlight so we can see him. Thank you for welcoming us into your home, Dr. Thomas. I also want him to share the spotlight with our superintendent from Southland College Prep, the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Blondine Davis. You know, it's a wonderful thing because as we have changed in education since we've had the pandemic and everything, it's important that we as a people stand together. And it's important that we as educators stand together. And so I'm proud tonight to see these two superintendents joining together tonight to bring our families together, which is our students, your children, to showcase what our future is going to look like, because they will be taking care of us. And so we thank you tonight. Thank you, Dr. Thomas and Dr. Davis. I'm not sure. We're going to do something tonight. Now, this is a lot of fun because I know I got some steppers in the audience. I got, who's a stepper? Any steppers here? Okay. We got some, well, I know if you don't step, you party. Now, what we do in our concerts a lot of times, we want to make sure that you know how to play Name That Tune. All right? And so these guys here, all of our seniors, are going to play a tune, and they're going to give you just a little bit. I want you all to see how much you know from your musical experience, all right? We're going to honor the past on this one. And it may be a couple things where we can be inspired by the future. Monty Jewell is going to take us through it. Monty, what's the first one? Nobody knows that one? Okay, let's see. How much more you got? This is in the past, too. Let's do number 3. Okay, somebody said it. Who says stand up? Who says Stevie Wonder? Y'all turn these lights up. I need to feel like I'm in the living room. Okay, thank you. Who says Stevie Wonder? Okay, stay up. Stevie Wonder what? Up. There you go. Sir Duke, let me hear what you got, Monty. You all notice we can feel it? We can feel it all over. You all got it. Stevie Wonder, you all. That's the jam. Okay, we got one more. We might have 2 more, right? Okay, let's see what we got. That sounds nice and romantic, though. Okay, put that category right there. All right, let's stay with romantic. No. Now, Stevie Wonder can't dominate this concert. He is good, but we can go see him on your own. But let's see what we can do with number 3, the third cue. I don't hear. Yeah, right. Maybe we need to get. From the day I met you. There you go. Come on, sing it. Life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace. All right, ladies, come on, sing it to me. There you go. You all do the, yeah. The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. But you know, I got to also give tribute to Carole King, because she was one of the composers of it, all right? Let's give it up. One more time. Let's go, Marty. What else we got? These are some smart folk out here. You all are bringing shame to my seniors here. You all know too much. Let's see. These are seniors. Who? Look at you. Oh, you know. I may have to give you $1 for that. That's it. Let's give it up, you all. Let's do one more. I want to do one more, all right? Let's see what we got. Malty, let's hear the cue for the first one. That sounds romantic, too. Okay. You know what I thought at first? It sounded like Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. Strumming in the park or whatever. But that's not it. Let's try it again. Second cue. Come on, Ebony. Come on, I know you know it. You got it. It's not Roberta Flack. Nope. Let's see. Third cue. Let's hear the fourth one. Yeah. I told you Ebony was going to get it. Give it up for my senior class of Southland College Prep High School. I'm happy tonight that you all are here, and we're going to introduce later on in the program because both of our boards of educations are here tonight, joining in this performance tonight. But this is going to be great. So I think backstage we're going to have another phenomenal performance for you. And this is the jazz band from Southland. They are here to bring you what I think maybe 3 tunes under the direction of Ron Harrigan. Why don't you give the Southland Jazz Band a hand tonight? jazz band, you all. Mr. Harrigan, come here for a minute. I just want you to just introduce your soloist to me.
Of course. This last piece, Soul Vaccination, we had a senior member of the band here, Mr. Malik Vivians on tenor saxophone. His secondary instrument, by the way. We also had Mr. Michael Igbanoba leading the way on valve trombone, junior. First piece, 2-2, we had quite a few soloists. Started off with a muted harmony mute trumpet, Mr. Rashid Suleiman, sophomore back there. Also had Mr. Malik Vivians again on alto saxophone. Trombone, we had Mr. Jalen Stingley. Raise your hand, Jalen, senior. You'll be leaving us this year. Sophomore, Mr. Michael Childress on the trombone. Raise your hand, Mike. Okay, and another senior that will be leaving us, Mr. Valik Tomlinson on trumpet. And of course, we couldn't have a solid band without a solid rhythm section. They always hold it down for us. Miss Mia Ware on piano, Leon DeBose on bass, and Daniel Neal on drums, also a senior. These students that are in the rhythm section, they all double. These are secondary instruments, but they play them as if they're their primary instruments. Great job, man.
Thank you, guys. What does the genre of jazz mean to you, and as you teach it to your students, what does that genre mean, and how do you make sure that they understand the full effects of the jazz idiom?
The genre that we just played? Oh, well, jazz to me is like, to any jazz musician, is a language, and it's a way that we express ourselves. I use it in class to help the students express themselves and not only build technically on the instrument, but to express themselves emotionally. So some students paint, some students write poetry. Our students in the jazz band class, we improvise, we create, we write, we compose, we arrange. So that's what we do.
Give it up for the director, Mr. Ron Harrigan. Thank you, Ron. We're going to hear some more jazz. Phil Cruz got a band coming too. That's going to be nice. You know, the music in high schools really has advanced itself, and both high schools, all three, are doing a great job with the fine arts. In this next piece, it's going to be it's called "You Raise Me Up," and it features violins, it features the band, it features two soloists, Edith Yoakley, Haley Love, Elizabeth Norman, and Stephen Ford. You are going to love this. Now, let me tell you about this piece. It has a lot of stops and a lot of breathing in it, okay? Music too breathes. So I want to make sure that you all do not clap until the final note has been executed, okay? Now, you're going to think it's a final note. That's not it. So don't clap. But when the final note ends, you'll know when to clap, okay? But I'm going to tell you, I think, Edith, you end the piece, and then you'll think it's ending, but Edith comes back in, and then the soloist ends the pieces. Now, you know, I had to learn this, too, because we would go to classical concerts, and after every selection, you know, you want to clap, you know, and then you see the other people, because you wasn't supposed to clap, okay? So I'm going to tell you all tonight, we are at Chicago Symphony Orchestra. And if you need a cue to clap, maybe Liz will raise her pinky finger because she's been in the orchestra stages for many years. But this is going to be a wonderful piece you all enjoy.
my soul is cloudy, if troubles come and my heart is in need, then I am still in wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Haley Love, Edith Yoakley, you all. And can I just say, you all did so good. It's amazing because that arrangement had a lot of breath in it. It had a lot of space in it. They just didn't sing it through, but they had a lot of time to execute what the song really meant. That was arranged by Maestro Fred Nelson III. I love that piece, and I like how Stephen Ford is one of our juniors at Southland, and I can tell that he's going to have a promising career. He's interested in singing music across the world, and he'll get there. He has a phenomenal voice. You're getting ready to hear some phenomenal music here, some fantastic music in behind me. Another jazz band, and I'm telling you, they are hot. You all know that. Phil Cruz has been out here for I don't know how many years. And everything that Phil touches turns to music. And he knows how to really bring music out in the instruments and with the students here at the school. And they are behind me. They're going to do two numbers, God Bless the Child and Afro Blue. And then after that, I'm going to have Phil come out and introduce the soloists and talk to you about his jazz experience here at the school. Won't you put your hands together for the jazz band of District 227. Great and fantastic soloist has a microphone, because you're going to hear her, and I'm telling you, she sounds like Billie Holiday. It is going to be a treat for you. So, are we ready to hear the jazz band? Let's give them another applause.
It's a blessing to be here tonight to perform for you. This is the Rich Township High School Jazz Ensemble. Our first selection tips our hat and gives a nod to one of the greatest women figures in jazz, Billie Holiday. And this is God Bless the Child, sung by Rebecca Perry.
Them that to have his own.
How about another hand for Rebecca Perry? Very thankful to the staff and the people here that made this concert happen. I want to thank Dr. Sandra Davis for working with Rebecca. Rebecca is a flute player in our band, and we just happened to figure out that she could sing. And Dr. Sandra Davis worked with her, and thank you so much for doing that, that she really sounds so much better now. This next piece that we're going to play is going to feature two of our trumpet players, Kyrie Skinner and Jonathan Matthews, and one of our saxophone players, Jordan Pearson. We're also going to hear from our rhythm section. We're going to hear something from our bass player. She's going to play some congas, Danielle. And then we're also going to hear from our drummer, Destiny. This is Afro Blue.
Thank
jazz band. Phil Cruz and the jazz band. Was that not phenomenal? Phil, let me just ask before you all close the curtain real quick. Sorry, Hope. Let me come up here for a minute, Phil, and then we can close. This guy, Mr. Cruz, is a bad man, you all. How do you get all of this? How do you get all of this out of these students?
Well, I'm blessed to work with some wonderful students. Give the students a hand. I'm blessed to work with some wonderful students, and we have a great staff here. Mr. Smith is not out here today, but he's our assistant band director. We just work hard and put it together and listen to the music and embrace it.
Well, between you and Mr. Harrigan, I'm telling you, we can make some money here. You all are good. Thank you all very much. Let's give him another hand, you all. Coming to the stage, you're gonna like this guy. Demario Tribbett has been out here since 2018, got his degree from Governor State. He is a soloist coming straight from American Idol, Demario Tribbett. Let's give it up for him, you all.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, times for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. And maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. 'Cause they're the ones who's coming up. The world is in their hands. If you teach the children, teach the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yes, just you and me. Oh, we gotta change the world, you and me. Wake up, everybody. Picket lines and picket shines. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Oh, mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. For you see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Oh, can you help me? Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I need to know what's going on.
And once we find out what's going on in this world, it's gonna be a lovely day. Can you do me a favor and put your hands together like this? Come on, let me see you clap your hands. Listen, when I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. If you know it, help me sing it. When I look at you, and the world's all right with me, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be, can you help me sing it tonight? A lovely day. A lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Tribbett, choir director. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together right now for the Southland Dancers. Southland Dancers. That was a rendition to Firebird. Let's give them another hand, you all. It looks so beautiful. Can I have the house lights for a minute, Mike? Just want to give introductions to a couple people here. You know, every good building has good, solid leaders, and I just want to recognize the principals of each of our buildings here tonight. The principal of this campus, Principal Larry Varn. Where's Larry? Principal Varn, are you here? He walked out, taking care of business, okay? Principal at the STEM campus, Janice Wells. Is Janice Wells here, Dr. Wells? Dr. Wells doing a great job here. And then also the director at Southland College Prep, ours, Dr. Corey Levy. Is he here still tonight? Let's give him a hand, too, as well. It takes a lot to run a building, and I think they do a pretty good job. Pray for them. Pray for all of our principals. They got a job to do, I'm telling you. And pray for our parents, because they got to do the job first, right? This has been a nice evening of good inspirational music. Have you all really enjoyed yourselves tonight in this collaboration? This has been good. Now let me see, just so we know who the family is. Where's our 227 family? Raise your hand. Wonderful. Where is our Southland family? Where's our Richton Park family? All y'all should be clapping. Richton Park, come on, put your hands together. Fred, I wanted to do this tonight. I wanted to make sure you studying something. Okay. I want you to really introduce your band here tonight, because they've really done such a phenomenal job, and I think that they should be recognized. Maestro Fred Nelson III.
Thank you. And I just want you to know that our MC for the evenings is also a phenomenal musician. He doesn't talk about it, but he's worked as minister of music at the Apostolic Church and many of the under Dr. Brazier. And that was a big, how many choir members did you have? 200? 300. And he's not there now, but he goes back and helps out. So let's give Mr. Chip Johnson there. Dr. Chip Johnson. My sidekick here, Mr. Walt Multi-Jewel, who you've heard a lot about. Joey Woolfolk on guitar. Stand up, Joey, so we can see you. Joey is a phenomenal guitar player, has played for Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, who else? Donnie McClurkin, so he's really big in the gospel field. Sheree Reed on bass, known around the world. How many followers you got now on Instagram? About 10,000 or something? A phenomenal musician, has worked for everybody. Corey, Corey Henry right now. Quinn, what's your last? Anderson. I should know that. We've been working together for years. Quinn Anderson, phenomenal drummer, has worked with everybody. And I'll just whisper who he's also worked for. Should I say it? What's his He said, just say Southland. Okay, I won't call the name. Chris Paquette, is that right? New on our team, percussionist, fabulous. And I'm going to let Kenneth Lethbridge, these are new guys kind of on our team as far as our horn section. I'm going to let him introduce his guys.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Yeah. We have Walter Sanchez on trombone over here. We have Sam Trump on trumpet. Ryan Neither, also on trumpet. My name is Kenneth Lethbridge Jr. I am an alum from Ridge Central High School. So, what's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all.
All right, Doctor.
Thank you. Great guys. Put your hands together for our band tonight. It's funny because, you know, when you're in the industry, a lot of times you hire these musicians and you don't really care about their names. You just want to make sure they can play. And that's what happens sometimes in our introductions. But they are a really great group. So tonight, we have our choir from Southland coming to you on stage. And when you open up the curtain, you're going to see a whole stage full of loveliness. Our Southland College Prep Choir under the direction of Miss Liz Norman. And Liz, I don't know how many of you all know, but she is a professional soloist in her own right. She has graced the stages of the Lyric Opera, of the Chicago Symphony Chorus, of the Chicago Civic Chorus, and many others. She's also appeared with the Apostolic Church of God in concert and the Chicago Sinfonietta, just to name a few. She comes from the HBCU, Morgan State University. I come from the HBCU Fisk University, where I was a Jubilee singer. I just got to put that out there because in Black history, our HBCUs are a vital part of our culture. We got any HBCU alums out there? There you go. We got any Divine Nine out there? You see what I'm saying? That's what happens here. So tonight, let's honor our children tonight, our students tonight, with I'm going to Sing Till the Spirit Moves in My Heart, and another selection that they will bring, the Southland Chorus, under the direction of Liz Norman.
I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till Jesus comes. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till Jesus comes. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till Jesus comes. Oh yeah, my Lord. Oh yeah, my Lord. Oh yeah, my Lord. Hallelujah. I'm gonna pray to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Oh to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Oh to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Oh to my Jesus. Can't you feel the Spirit move? Can't you feel it move? Can't you feel it move? Can't you feel it move? I'm gonna shout out to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Shout to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Shout to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Shout to my Jesus. Till he comes. Shout out to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Gonna shout to the Spirit. Move to my Jesus. Shout to my Jesus. Move to my Jesus. Gonna shout till Jesus comes. Till he comes. I'm gonna sing till my Jesus.
Martin Luther King, a brave and dedicated man, a man of love and courage, a man of faith and vision, belongs not only to us, but to the world. He carried his message of brotherhood and justice to cities, to states, to countries, and across the seas. He was a man who had been to the mountain, and he believed that the promised land of equality was a little more than a heartbeat away. Martin Luther King, son of a Baptist minister, grandson of a slave, marched and spoke before a global audience, a dominant voice in the quest for human rights, a champion of love and nonviolence in a troubled world, a man with a dream.
His terrible swift sword is true.
Morgan Colvin right here, ladies and gentlemen, the narrator. Thank you. Miss Norman, you want to introduce your soloist here?
I would like to introduce, it is my honor and privilege to introduce three fabulous freshmen that I love so much. Rashad Hyde, Ito Salami, and Christian Benson.
The Southland Chorus, you all give them a hand. Thank you all very much. We're about wrapping it up in a few. We're going to do some changes in the back and then come with a very powerful finale. I am feeling the essence of where we are right now in America. And I do want to send out prayers for what's going on over in Ukraine. We do want to send prayers and our thoughts to the families over there that are going through that whole thing with Russia. But we also want to send prayers here for our newly appointed Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't know how many of you all remember, well, I'm sure a lot of you all do, but we just couldn't celebrate the right way when they nominated Judge Clarence Thomas to the bench. It was just a lot of stuff that followed that nomination. So we didn't know how to react. We were happy in one sense, but you know, coming behind Thurgood Marshall and then to that whole thing, it just kind of put a cloud over that nomination. But he's there, and we honor Judge Clarence Thomas as being one of our African-American justices on the bench. But I really am happy about Sister Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's coming to us from Howard University, HBCU alum, and then also Harvard Law School. She's a real deep sister. And so we'll hear the nomination hearings, and we will really, hopefully, walk her in with a clean slate and really celebrate another African American that sits on the court of the highest in the United States of America. But tonight, we want to continue to celebrate, and our next performance behind us, Maya Angelou was a phenomenal woman. She really was. And if you read her story, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and you hear that story, you will understand. But there was a poem that she did that is actually called Phenomenal Woman. And these dancers from Southland are going to narrate that and dance to that as you hear the voice of Elizabeth Norman Sojourner sing Phenomenal Woman behind me. Put your hands together for the dancers.
Jennifer Hudson.
Oh my God. Woo. Thank you so much. Wow, I have always dreamed, but never, ever this big. Ever. This goes far beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. I just want to say thank you to the Hollywood Foreign Press for such an amazing honor. Whew, wait a minute, give me 1 second. I'm trying not to cry. But you do not know how much this does for my confidence. Because of this, oh my God, am I turning into Effie up here? Okay. Because of this, it makes me feel like I'm a part of a community. And it makes me feel like an actress, and you do not understand how much that feels good to say.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, that's what I mean. Sleep in peace until the day's done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world and a bold world, and I'm feeling good. 'Cause when you shine, you know how I feel. Shins of the pine, you know how I feel. I pray to make mine, and I know how I feel. Darling, a new day, a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. It's a new day, I'm feeling good. It's a new day, I'm feeling good. It's a new day, I'm feeling good.
This is where I sit when I come to church. This is my seat. Don't sit in my seat.
If you got your house on a solid rock.
Her father, the charismatic Reverend C.L. Franklin, who was pastor here, would electrify audiences with his thunderous sermons.
When you come face to face with temptation,
Then he'd call his daughter up to the pulpit.
My dad had to push me to sing, though. I really didn't want to sing.
Aretha was about 10 years old.
I'm standing up on a little box.
You were on a box?
Yeah, the pulpit was too high, so they put a little box next to the pulpit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So this was your place?
Yeah, this is where we lived.
We went back to the Franklin family home in West Detroit. You were saying in the day it was a show place.
Yeah, it was definitely a show place. It was the most beautiful home I had ever seen.
Where was your room?
Right
On the
here.
second floor?
Yeah, right there.
Uh-huh. When gospel greats like Mahalia Jackson or Clara Ward would visit the house, the young Aretha would watch from the top of the stairs.
To see who was coming in and who was going out, and peeping through the railing of the staircase. So it was special, yeah. Very, very special.
Who did you like to see most of all?
Sam Cooke. Anytime, Sam.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make
song, 19th century, which is so great. It says, when it looked like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds. Imagine. And I've had so many rainbows in my clouds. I had a lot of clouds, but I have had so many rainbows. And the thing to do, it seems to me, is to prepare yourself so that you can be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. Somebody who may not look like you, may not call God the same name you call God, if they call God at all. You see? And may not eat the same dishes prepared the way you do, may not dance your dances or speak your language, but be a blessing to somebody. That's what I think.
Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me like a hive of honeybees. I say it's in the fire of my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, or the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me.
Phenomenal, phenomenal young woman. I bow to you. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Thomas and I are here because, remember 2 years ago, remember before COVID, there was a life before COVID. He came up with an idea that we should showcase the power of the rich schools, and we should do that in a musical way. And I just heard someone talk about rainbows, and perhaps, Dr. Thomas, when you came up with that idea, you thought about there might be some clouds out there, but we could bring some rainbows. And together, I know you don't always think of us in this way, but the two of us, Dr. Thomas, have all of the high school students that go to school in a township that happens to be called Rich. And let's give all of our students a round of applause. All round of applause. But tonight is monumental. Do you know, I've been here personally, Dr. Thomas, many, 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 many times for staff developments and all those kinds of things. But maybe 2-3 weeks ago, Dr. Thomas said, aren't we tired of this thing called COVID, and don't we think that we could do something socially distant, small? What about if I open my theater? And look at this theater tonight. I don't know who's been in, but look at these lights, look at the drapes. You have no idea what's behind the scenes. And so, do you know we're only 2 minutes down the street? This is the first time that you have seen the power of the rich high schools all together on one stage. And Dr. Thomas, I thank you. I thank you. But you know, we would not be where we are if it wasn't for the Magistracy of District 160, and that's Dr. Main. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dr. Kalitha White in 163. We wouldn't be here, and I think she's sitting somewhere in the back. Could we acknowledge Dr. Mabel Alford from 159? We salute you, we salute you. And I say that because I don't know, Dr. Thomas will speak for himself, but we receive them and maybe we put the finishing touches, but it's really our elementary feeder districts that do all of the groundwork. And of course, I acknowledge 162, you know that. They do a magnificent job. And I told Dr. Thomas the other day, I have the honor of having children from the age of 3 to 18, and so I think that's very special. But Dr. Thomas, could we introduce board members? I don't know if you would allow that. Do you think so? Oh, they're going to pay for the bills. No.
There she is. Come on, stand up so that they can give you a round of applause. Vice President Andre Allen. Board Secretary Tiffany Taylor. Board Member Janice Preston. Oh, she's over here. There you go. Okay. Board Member Cheryl Coleman. Board Member Mia Carter. And Board Member Randy Alexander.
And if I could, Dr. Thomas, the president of the Southland Board, Mr. Ron Beam, how are you? Good evening, Mr. Beam. And I do see Karen McCrae from the 162 board. Karen is always with me. I don't know if you've ever missed an event. And he's a board member, but I actually know him primarily as a parent. And Mr. Jeffrey Johnson, thank you so much, but I knew you'd be here. You have children here in the performance, so thank you very much. And I do see our former mayor of University Park, but now she's heading the South Suburban Democratic Women's Organization. How are you, Mrs. Covington? But together, I just think it's just a magnificent, magnificent turnout. Could I just say one thing? I don't know how you think of yourself, but I think of myself as primarily a teacher. So I have to say thank you, Mrs. Chapman. Those of you know her, thank you, Mrs. Chapman, for that magnificent performance. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you, Mr. Harrigan. Thank you to all of the teachers. And you know what? Even though we're standing out here, we just came around, and there are a ton of people, Dr. Thomas, in the back. But I would be remiss. A beautiful, beautiful voice. She came to us from Chicago State. Mr. Nelson said that she's performed in many, many places. But you know what? She chose to teach. She chose to teach. And I don't feel that there's anything that is more noble than teaching, Dr. Thomas, and that's Elizabeth Norman. So can we give all of them a round of applause? But you know, standing in front of us is a special person, and he really doesn't like to be, I don't think he's shy. Couldn't be.
No, he's shy.
He's shy. Okay. You saw those tapes with Aretha Franklin, and I met him when he was the music director for Aretha Franklin. And now he's music director for Jennifer Hudson. But when I really got to know him, and he won't probably remember this, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman at Christ Universal joined our hands together and said, you two will make beautiful music for the children. And so thank you, Fred Nelson. But I want to be, it's just wonderful, wonderful, just artistic. But Mr. Thomas, I talk entirely too much, Dr. Thomas, so therefore.
I wasn't going to tell you to stop. I was
No, go.
Fred, thank you for all that you've done for us. We truly appreciate it. It has taken a lot for us to get this ready for you all. And so we have a few things that we want to show our appreciation to a few people that have helped us really pull this off. So I'd like to take the time to recognize and actually have a small token of appreciation for some of the members who helped to plan and put this together. So Miss Kathy Termian Brown, are you here, Miss Brown? Can you please come up to the stage, please? Please, where are you? There she is. Miss Brown is the drama musical theater director. She helped put the piece together that you saw that lead us off this afternoon, and she's with Rich 227. So let's give her a warm round of applause as she makes her way through the maze.
Flowers, Dr. Thomas, I did not know that you had that in your heart.
There's a heart in there somewhere.
We are so very, very grateful for everything that you've done for the children. So thank you so very much. Thank you. And we have a couple of more gifts, but women like flowers, and so that's why I gave her the first gift. But thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Carl Kruger, is he in the theater? Dr. Kruger, where is he? He tries to hide. It's kind of tough to find him sometimes. Is he around?
We'll find him.
Dr. Kruger is the Director of Fine Arts at Southland Charter Prep, and he helps with a lot of the musical pieces that are put together, and we're really, really happy to work with him. I'll eat his popcorn on his behalf.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Elliot Eccles. Is Mr. Eccles in the auditorium? Mr. Eccles. You know, a lot of times we don't really recognize our buildings and grounds staff. Mr. Eccles is the director of building and grounds for Rich Township High School District 227. A lot of lifting and moving to pull this off. Thank you, Mr. Eccles.
Thank you so much, sir. We acknowledge, no one knows, except probably Dr. Thomas, the evolution, but you were so instrumental as we moved forward, and I think that the majesty of tonight really is due to your contribution, so thank you so very, very much. And I'm giving you Dr. Thomas's popcorn, but it's a little gift certificate too. He would eat the popcorn, so, but seriously, thank you so much. You have no idea what you've done, and I saw this before. I'm looking up at the sky. You know, he probably was part of the rainbow, I think.
Mr. Fred Nelson, let's give, I know we've clapped for him 15 times, but we got some popcorn for you too, Mr. Nelson. We gonna fatten you up.
Well, you can come up. You know he's not, absolutely
can
not.
we play some come up on the stage music for him? Can we get
but behind you is Dr. Carl Cougar.
Oh, there he is. No, man, I'm not gonna eat your popcorn. This is Mr. Kruger. He came to get his popcorn. Kroger.
You heard the audio.
Can somebody correct me again?
Well, I don't know Dr. Coker, but I'll give you the popcorn. He is magical in what he does for us, but you know, he's a little different. He has this gruff attitude, but then he refers to the children as his babies. So he is extremely creative, but very protective of them. So thank you, Carl, thank you.
He has been running around here and has been running around for about a month. He was newly named our director of communication, along with activities and along with athletics. Mr. Matthew Shank. Mr. Shank, where is Mr. Shank? I don't think he slept the entire time, so tomorrow I'm going to give him 10 minutes off. So he'll get 10 minutes off tomorrow, and but a lot of
10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay, but you know what you really could do, though, is send him right down the street.
No.
Congratulations, and thank you so much. Thank you. And you know, he listened to me, and he knows that sometimes I always speak my mind, and he would pick up the phone and call Dr. Thomas and say, did she really mean it? And actually I did. And so, but thank you ever so much for what it is that you do. And he does everything. When I said, who's in charge of transportation? He said, I am. When I said, who's in charge of communication? He said, I am. And then fine arts and on and on and on. What you really have is a sense of mastery. And whatever you do and what you touch, I think just turns to gold. So thank you so very much. Thank you.
And last but definitely not least, Mr. Mark Walzak has been in this auditorium. He is the director of buildings and grounds for Southland College Prep, but he's been in Rich 227, I think, for the last 2 weeks, seems like 2 years, helping to get all of the lighting, all of the sound, everything that you've experienced. He has really worked to put together with his hands, along with the talented team. So I want to call Mark out and give him a wonderful, wonderful round of applause. Where is he around?
He's here. Whether we can get him to come out is a different story, but he is here. But regardless, I'm going to talk about him, even if he doesn't come out, but he might. No, he's not. But if you know anything about Southland, you know that the building used to be Prudential Life. And when we purchased it, it was a usual office building. It was Mark Walzak's dream and his expertise that made it what it is today. And when we decided to build a performing arts center, he was the one, Dr. Thomas, had worked with the architects and then the gym. But not even that. On the 162 side, there's not an addition that he hasn't laid his hands on. He's an expert in lighting, as you can see, in electricity, in maintenance and everything. And even if he doesn't, we're going to do something to make him, one way or the other, we're going to get him out, because we are extremely grateful. You know, to be able to have a vision is one thing, and this was Dr. Thomas's vision. Before I even saw it, Dr. Thomas, because I have to tell you, I was a little doubtful.
Just a little bit.
A little doubtful. But when you look up, and I hope your board is looking at this and looking at the lights and the ambiance, the new curtains, and you guys absolutely have to go behind the scenes and see all of the electrical equipment that made this possible. But Mr. Walzak, if you won't let us thank you publicly, we still are very grateful for everything that you do.
And finally, I want to call, I know Mabel is around here somewhere. If I can have Mabel come out. You know, we have really worked in this community to become one as a unit. And Dr. Davis, it has really, really carried us, especially during my time here. I know during Mabel's time, she knows the history, she knows the people, and she's been able to support us in ways that has only allowed for us to grow as leaders. And so she didn't know that we were going to do this, but from all of the feeder districts that you talked about earlier and Rich Township, we wanted to offer you your flowers while you're still with us, and just let you know we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for always fighting for children.
And I'd just like to say this is truly a phenomenal woman. And because of her, we are who we are as superintendents. Her love, her support, her caring, and her giving is just beyond measure. And I am forever grateful in this journey to have had God put you on that road. And so we are truly blessed to have you. And on behalf of the feeder school districts, we love you and we truly appreciate you.
And we still have Fred standing here.
We still have who? No,
Fred Nelson.
Yeah. Did we bring him out?
No,
did he
he's
come?
out now. And no, you'll have to get it from Dr. Thomas. Because it was Dr. Thomas that said, if we're going to do this, what about having this professionally produced? And that's when, I don't know that Fred knew what we were going to ask. However, you're here, Fred, and thank you so very much.
And for those of you who will be Rich Township, Fred is also producing our graduation, which will be in our stadium this fall. So he will be. We're putting him to work big time to help us make sure we have a quality.
He said it.
You're on the hook now. Thank you. You can't hear them, but there are a lot of kids behind us, and
they want to sing.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Oh. Before I get off the stage, please allow me. Can we bring the lights back up really quick, please? I just want to make sure that we take the time to recognize our parents. Our parents are here supporting our children. Let's give our parents a big round of applause. We plant the seeds, and we need you big time to watch our children grow. And our collective ask is for you to love a child that's outside of your family in our community. That's our collective ask. Find a way to love our children, because they really, really need it. And my final ask is, if you've recorded today, our children today, can you please put it on next door? Let's get it on next door so that they can celebrate our children with us and be here with us to see the excellent things that our rich township children are doing educationally. And that is all that I have, Dr. Davis. I'm going to get out of the way.
Dr. Thomas, Mr. Nelson, I think the children who define who we are and what we do on a daily basis, they really want to bring a message of love and hope, and they want to tell us something about the future. So if we could, Mr. Nelson, our finale.
Thank you.
so many things. There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know.
Don't we want nothing hold us back? We're putting ourselves together, we're polishing up our act, yeah. And if you've ever felt you've been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore, yeah.
Every word I say, every word I say, ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now.
I know you know someone that has a negative vibe, and when they try to make it, they only push aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going.
But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna get ourselves together. We're gonna polish up our act, yeah. If you've ever been held down before, I know you'll refuse to be held down anymore.
Nothing.
Stand in your way.
Every word I say, every word I say.
We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show. Thank you so very much for joining us. Please continue to support us, continue to look after our children, and always love, peace, and soul.